Hey, this is James Pelton, and before it gets to be too late into the month, I wanted to get my numbers out for the month of March, or else we're going to be into the next month, and it'll defeat the purpose. And I always, well, first off, you might notice my background's different. It's because I'm at Great Wolf Lodge with my kids, and you might think, no, hey, you should take a vacation, you should take a break from making videos. But if you've ever been to Great Wolf Lodge, you might know that I need a break from Great Wolf Lodge, okay? And crypto is my break from Great Wolf Lodge. Just so my background's normally books, here's my background today. The Wolf Den. So anyways, that's where I'm at. That's also why I might look a little tired. But I want to get these monthly numbers out, and I'm always a little bit hesitant to put the numbers out because it's a little bit uncomfortable for me. But the reason I do this again is not to brag, and it's not to have you be discouraged about where you're at or encouraged if you're ahead of me. But really I want to just show you what projects actually made me money and which didn't. I don't know. I just want to promote transparency and show you what I've put in and what I've taken out. So again, if you like this series, please give it a thumbs up. That just tells me, hey, keep doing it. People like to see that. Some people tell me that they don't watch any of my videos except for the monthly numbers, okay? So welcome for those of you who are in that boat. So I want to first show you, here were my February numbers, if you don't remember. So I had 190K in profit. So my big goal for this month in March was I doubled down in some of these projects and I got into some new projects and I was like, can I hit 200K for the month of March? And the answer is, drum roll. The answer is no. I was down a little bit in the month of March. And a big chunk of that was because of drip. So the price of drip has been way down. So in February, I made 117K from drip, and in March, I made 78K. So I was down almost 40K from drip. Now, in some ways that's discouraging, but in other ways that is encouraging because that means that my portfolio is becoming more diversified. So, drip could go completely away now and it wouldn't, before it was 60, 70% of my portfolio, and now it is not. So that is encouraging. The price of drip has been stabilizing. So again, if drip starts to go back up, I did a lot of compounding while it's been down. So drip has the potential, I've kind of been looking for that bounce where it hits the bottom and then starts coming back up. But there's a lot of potential there for my portfolio. So I'm excited to see that. And again, that all comes from, I did a 5K investment. Now again, some of that, we've talked about this before, is from referrals. And so it's actually really hard for me to work out the numbers. I just didn't have time to do it. Sometime I will try to work out the numbers if I didn't have referrals. But I put in 5K and I put it in at like $8 or $9, I think. So it 30x maybe. And then a bunch of people I referred also 30x. And so I got some of that. And so it's blown up for me. Number 2 was actually the tavern. Okay, so I put in just 5K. I was part of the pre-sale. So this is actually the perfect example, I think. And I put it in green. This color means that it wasn't even a full month. Okay, so that's how crazy it was. But this was the perfect example of getting in early and then getting my initial out. And actually the price of mead, which is what tavern produces, has been going down. But now I'm to the point where it's a bummer that the price is going down, but it doesn't really matter. I have my initial out, and it's just profit from here on out. I did purchase several more strong nodes, but the price has been going down, so I actually made less, even though I compounded quite a bit last month. So that's a bummer. Yield nodes did much better for me, and again, I'm going to have to separate out. So again, I put in initially 10K, and it's now making about 7K a month. And I'm going to have to, again, do the numbers for some of that is referrals from you guys, but I'm going to have to work that out as well. But it did 7.9% for the month of March, so it did very well for me. And yield nodes, just a spoiler alert, yield nodes I think might be my favorite. It might be my number one project right now, just because of the stability. We're seeing everything else is up, down, turnaround, whatever. But yield nodes, consistent 7.9%, 8%, 8.5%, and you don't lose your initial. So I have 60K, 70K in there now, and I can take it out. It's locked for 6 months, but then I can take it out. Next was Hyperfund. And I'm not going to talk too much about it because I'm not supposed to. Again, every time I talk about it, people say it's a scam. I have way more than gotten my money back in Hyperfund, but I can't say anything else more about it because it is a little fishy, we'll say. Drip Garden did not as well as the month of February, but it did still okay for me. Some of that is referrals. This number will not be that high for the month of April because it's gone down. It's just kind of consistently gone down. But if the price of Drip goes back up, Drip Garden is basically a liquidity pool, Drip BUSD. So if that goes up, then we'll be okay. And then I did double down on Thor nodes too. So I purchased several more Odin nodes, and I made quite a bit actually in the month of March, even though the price has been going down. So. My KD5 miners, the price of Kadena has been okay, so I made 6K from that. Fire nodes, I put in quite a few. I can't remember how many nests, but made me 6K for the month of March. This might go down. The price has been down, but then it was back up a little bit, so we'll have to see for the month of April. Cubo nodes has been one of my best investments. I put in just $1,500 and have wrote it up and reinvested and renoded. And it made $5,300 in March. That too, the price has been down, so I don't imagine that number will be as high. Vapor nodes, I originally put in $14,000. That price has been down also, so I don't imagine for April that will be as good either. So April might be a tough month. But I remember on my February video saying, oh man, March is going to be a tough month. And it was down a little bit, but it wasn't as tough as it could have been. So that's where I'm at with Vapor nodes. Titano is an up-and-coming one. So I only put $1,000 in this several months ago. And this was this was part of my Miscellaneous, which you'll see down here because I just didn't have very much in it. But since then, it's been making me, about $3,600 a month, just because it's grown over time. And then Polar Nodes. So getting green because I didn't have it for a full month. And actually, Polar Nodes is a funny story because it was my fan pick Friday. I said, hey, I'm going to put $5,000 into one thing. And you guys picked Polar Nodes. And honestly, I was not that excited about it. I looked at Polar Nodes and I'm like, yeah, they're not really doing that much. And then it was crazy. This was not a full month, but it did very well for me. And I think my April numbers will be pretty good for that as well. Miscellaneous, if you've watched my journey to 10K a day in passive income, you'll know why I have to do that. I can't put everything on this sheet. It'd be too much, but I added up. It's about 20K, and it's made about $3,200 this month. So as we get down to the bottom of the list, we got Crabata. Doing okay, but the price of TUS tokens gone down, but I have more crabs now. Comb, the price has been down, so this will probably be lower in April, but big things are coming from Comb, and so I'm excited to see that. Animal Farm, that's been a disappointment so far. So I made $1,500, but then it went on pause, and so we'll see where that ends up. Olympus made about $1,500. I have an Ethereum mining rig that I wouldn't recommend just because, I don't know, it just doesn't make that much money. I would rather get more KD5 miners if I was going to redo it probably, or just invest in something else other than this 3% return. But I'm collecting a lot of Ethereum. On my April numbers, you'll see EMP money, which is basically a way to get high APR on Ethereum. So that's, something you can do. You'll also see on my April numbers Elephant money. I put a significant portion into that. And there'll be some other things. Emerald nodes, I put a significant amount in that. Horde has been making a significant amount, but again, I wasn't in it long enough in the month of March for it to really be on here. My Anchor savings account's up to about 50K, but I'm moving a portion of that to Elephant nodes and Grape Finance. So those are like a little bit riskier stable coin yield, but Anchor's actually talking about lowering their from 19% APY to 15% APY, and then wouldn't be quite as worth it. Alpha nodes did pretty well. This wasn't a full month either, I don't believe. Maybe it was. I can't remember. And then Chicken Game made about $500. So all in all, it was a decent month. When I was doing my February numbers, I remember saying, oh man, March is going to be rough. So it wasn't as rough as I thought it could be. With the way the numbers are on a lot of these projects, you might think it's lower. I get a lot of comments saying, oh, I bet you're hurting now. And it definitely, like, if drip would go back up, I mean, if drip would go back up to where it has been, you know, I'd be making probably $200K a month just from drip. So that would be nice. So I'd like to see that price go up, but it is what it is. So thank you guys for your support. I am going to have another video out this evening for not a play to, well, it is a play to earn game, but it's not the typical ones that you're used to. So you can pray for me here at Great Wolf Lodge. Maybe my eye, are there bags under my eyes? I did not sleep very well. But we're going to the water park. We're going to the arcade. We're going to go do a dance party. We're going to go get donuts for breakfast. The kids are all over here waiting for me to finish up. So thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.